Electrical storm of ideas. That's what Thomas Edison's creation of the telephone and Ben Franklin's discovery of electricity bolted out, opening waves of new technology. And the direction of where technology will go tomorrow can be predicted by over 21 years of experience. Tim Bajarin, president of Creative Strategies, can see where today's technology goes. He is recognized as one of the leading computer industry consultants, the industry's top analyst, and can see the future for personal computers and consumer technology in Silicon Valley for the next generation.
We work on the predictions in the context of things that our clients want us to look at. For example, right now we're working on projects for next generation cell phones, next generation PDAs, next generation MP3, music, etc.
He is credited with predicting the desktop publishing revolution 2 years before it hit the market.
Nobody knew what that was about. In fact, it was in '82, I believe it was. And in those days, laser printers were room-sized products. So I wrote a report on that, and I literally said in the report that I could fully envision someday people publishing at the desktop.
And Tim was also able to identify multimedia as being a major trend as early as 1987.
I was convinced that the next big thing would be multimedia. And so I worked with Apple to help define and develop what in essence was their multimedia strategies in the late 1980s. And again, we called that 2 to 3 years way in advance. Because I have been a part of the computer industry from the beginning, worked on projects from, in many cases, their inception, it gives me an incredible understanding of how things get done, how the technology works, and more importantly, the impact of technology as it evolves.
Tim Bajarin was born in San Jose, California. His father was originally from Pangasinan, Philippines, and was part of the Manong generation who immigrated to America in the late 30s. His parents met in the farm fields of Watsonville in the late 40s, and within the next decade, little Timmy was born.
My childhood was uneventful, other than it was shaped by, again, an incredible cultural difference. For one thing, my father, being very strict Filipino and wanting to keep his customs, would be, very much inclined to the Oriental foods. So we had a lot of rice because of him. However, my mother, being German, wanted the sauerkraut and the sausage.
As a kid, the two cultures were just a part of his lifestyle. But it was the Filipino influence that he remembers fondly as a child.
One day I came home, probably I was about 10 or 11, and in the backyard was a goat tied to a tree. And of course I'm thinking, hey, this is great, I got a new pet. Little did I know that was dinner. Up to that point in my life, the most tragic thing I saw was my dad's fish head soup. So he'd bring home fish, and while we were used to the normal fillets, to him the great thing was the head.
He recalls other memories growing up, memories of his father's involvement with the church, and memories of playing ministry with his brother and sisters.
My original goal was going to be a minister and a missionary, and it looked to me like I was going to go off and preach. I kind of got thrown into the world of technology in the 70s, and in the early 80s I eventually came to work with this company, Creative Strategies.
As a result, he became the company's PC analyst and chronicled the history of the personal computer.
What I do is I help my clients, which are companies like IBM, Compaq, Dell, Microsoft, Apple, most of the companies who are in the computer industry, figure out what the trends are. And I literally grew up with it. My first project was the IBM PC, literally for Don Estridge and the group out of Florida who created the original IBM PC. I understand the history of the computer from a first-hand perspective. Secondly, we mark trends, both from the standpoint of users and business impact. And our goal and what we try to do is try to help people understand how the use of technology and the way it works in their lifestyle integrates together. And so we try to predict fundamentally what customers are going to want 12 to 24 months from now.
Getting ahead of the curve is more than just a slogan at Creative Strategies. They use documented research effectively, and efficiently Tim bridges that information with products for tomorrow's consumers.
We believe that portable technology is a very important part of the next generation of the digital lifestyle. When we think of the role of technology going forward, we realize that it really has an opportunity to impact lifestyles. But I would like to see it become one that impacts lifestyles so that we use it to better ourselves, better our community, better our world, as opposed to using it in a more introverted way where it only benefits the individual.
Tim Bajarin's PC roots stem at the inception of creation, and his contribution to society is definitely a significant part of the tech revolution's history, making him one of the brightest Filipino American achievers in the industry.